This next example gives us an opportunity to see how a confidence interval can be created when the problem has already gone through and found the margin of error for us. A poll was conducted in Canada to estimate the proportion of college students who prefer Coke over Pepsi. A random sample of 1,000 college students was taken. 66 preferred Coke over Pepsi. That would be our value for p hat. The margin of error for this sample, using a 95% confidence level, was 3%. This means that we don't have to go through and calculate the margin of error, or the piece after the plus or minus. We can just plug into our equation p hat plus or minus the margin of error. So this was the alternate definition that we saw that we could use for our confidence interval. MOE stands for margin of error. The information given to us from the problem then says that our p hat was 66%, which would be 0.66, and then we can add and subtract from that 3%, which is 0.03, giving us then an interval of 0.63 to 0.69. The next step of things that we're going to do is going to be to take the terms margin of error, confidence interval, and confidence level and match them to the different blanks that I've got over the next three problems. Blank represents a range of reasonable values for a population parameter. We have seen that this is the definition of a confidence interval. A confidence interval represents a range of reasonable values for the population parameter. And as far as our interpretation goes, which is the most important part of a confidence interval, we are 95%. I know that's the case because it tells us up top that this was a 95% confidence level. We are 95% confident that the true value of the proportion of all Canadian college students who prefer Coke over Pepsi. Remember that this right here is our description for the parameter. And then we give the values for which we think the true proportion will lie. We think that it is going to be between 63 and 69%.